Welcome to week number 9 of the high school football season in Tennessee, and we are approaching some rare air. Top-ranked Red Raiders, number 1 in the state of Tennessee, unbeaten 7-0, on top of the region with a 3-0 record, and there's just 3 games remaining. To be unbeaten, Craig, this late date in the season, pretty impressive.
You've played some great football, and Baylor has played some great football. Tonight, interesting challenge, a team from Missouri, and it's senior night, so lots to hope for, lots to enjoy tonight in this football game.
7-0 for the season, we said. A win over Raven Gap in the opening game of the season. Victory over Gray Collegiate. Coconut Creek went on the road, beat Lipscomb 37-7. Beat Christian Brothers here at home. Snuck by Brentwood Academy 7-6, and I think the last time out was a pretty impressive performance. A 44-12 win over McCauley. And a bye week, open date last week. So I asked Eric Kimry today, what do you work on an open date? He goes, hey, everyone needs to get their head clear. He goes, think about it. We've been working on this since July. And he goes, not just players, but coaches need to spend time with their family. Players need to get healthy. Then we can open up and look at some new things, tweak some things, figure out injury situations and that. So they think they had a very productive bye week.
Rest up, heal up, reload, reflect, and gear up for the most important part of the season. The great thing is they have set the table for the playoffs and hopefully a lot more.
Yeah, I was going to say 3 more games remaining, but this is the final home game of the regular season. St. Pius X out of Missouri. Yes, there is a St. Pius X out of Atlanta. That's not the team that Baylor's playing tonight. They're playing the team from Missouri. Then on the road at Montgomery Bell Academy and at Knox Catholic. We both know how competitive those football teams are, so don't start counting your chickens and saying undefeated season, those kind of things. There's a challenge here tonight, although Baylor feels like they may have the upper hand against the Lancers tonight. Those 2 games on the road with a lot on the line next week, the 25th, and then the first day of November.
Well, you're playing an opponent, but you're also gauging your own performance. It's really about what Baylor does tonight. They're at home. They're a talented team. They have match the intensity of everyone they have played this year, and you expect tonight would be no exception.
Yeah, during the bye week, during the open week, they worked on getting some other players that hadn't gotten that much playing time, kind of getting them in with the number ones a little bit. I think we may see some of that tonight. We may see some of the Baylor players that haven't seen a lot of playing time so far this year get on the field and maybe give a little bit of a rest to Cam Sparks or Joachim Dotson or Shakai Mills Knight or David Gabriel Georges. They may get a little bit of a rest this evening.
Here's what's important about that, Jim, especially at some of your skill positions. When you go into a game in the late season or the postseason, you don't want a player that has never played all season. This is a perfect time for that, to get substantial reps, to get evaluated against an opponent, but also get some experience so when the Bullets are live late in the postseason, they have some framework of what it's like to be out there.
And I asked Coach Kimmy earlier today, you guys still on a high coming off McCall? He goes, we let that go in a hurry. He goes, they'd earned that. And you know what? That's right. That was an impressive win 2 weeks ago here. But a different opponent tonight, St. Pius X, the Lancers, out of beautiful downtown Festus, Missouri. It's the final home game of the regular season, but the Red Raiders certainly feel like there's a lot more football to be played this year. Get ready for the postseason.
At this time, we would like to introduce the starting lineup for the Lancers, coached by Frank Ray. In numerical order, number 1, quarterback, junior Danny DeGear. Number 2, senior kicker and punter, Connor Meffin. Number 3, senior defensive lineman, Alex Westerman. Number 5, sophomore tight end and defensive end, Dawson Litterall. Number 7, freshman linebacker, Lyndon McCoyne. Number 11, freshman wide receiver, Harrison Ray. Number 18, junior wide receiver and defensive back, Jack Michaud. Number 21, freshman safety, Carter Smith. Number 23, senior running back and linebacker, Justin Lane. Number 31, sophomore wide receiver and defensive back, Brody Irvin. Number 32, senior running back and linebacker, Thomas Bolt. Number 40, sophomore linebacker, Cody Shaver. Number 54, junior offensive and defensive lineman, Caden Payne. Number 55, sophomore offensive and defensive lineman, Jackson Jersinovich. Number 59, sophomore offensive lineman, Gabe Baez. Number 60, senior offensive and defensive lineman, Peyton Shaver. And number 61, sophomore offensive lineman, Colin Spink. The Lancers are coached by Frank Ray. Tonight's high school football game is made possible in part by Park Ridge Health System. With 5 hospitals working together as one in Chattanooga region, Park Ridge Health provides a full range of medical and mental health care, including sports medicine and orthopedics. For more information, visit parkridgehealth.com. This game is being played according to the rules of the Tennessee Secondary School Athletic Association. These rules provide for fair competition among players. Spectators can also help to promote good sportsmanship by observing the rules of fair play. Each one is requested to take a personal responsibility for keeping this game at a high level of sportsmanship.
Let's go ahead and start. I'll tell you when. Start the lineup. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Now please direct your attention to the Baylor Jumbotron as we introduce the starting lineup for your Baylor Red Raiders. On defense, number 4, linebacker Joel Lowenberg. Number 5, defensive back Jamian Theodore. Number 8, defensive back Colby Barrett. Number 15, linebacker Keaton Whaley. Number 16, linebacker Davis Garrett. Number 20, defensive back Jordan Darangia. Number 21, linebacker Bradley Alunga Bisalele. Number 24, defensive back Cody Davenport. Number 25, safety Tyler Rice. Number 27, linebacker Chris Reniger. Number 35, defensive lineman C.J. Weiler. Number 56, defensive lineman Rafi Kunzamana. And number 99, defensive lineman Jaden Arenas Michelle. Your Baylor offense, starting with number 0, running back David Gabriel Georges. Number 1, running back Shakai Mills Knight. Number 2, wide receiver Caden Dewey. Number 3, quarterback Griggs Cherry. Number 9, wide receiver Joakim Dodson. Number 13, wide receiver Alexi Leclerc. Number 17, wide receiver Cameron Sparks. Number 19, tight end Ben Darnell. Number 54, offensive lineman Teague Johnson. Number 58, offensive lineman Jimmy Bryson. Number 71, offensive lineman Charlie Edgeworth. Number 74, offensive lineman Xavier Wade. Number 75, offensive lineman Jonathan King. And number 79, offensive lineman Gabriel Osenda. The kicker is number 80, Philippe LaForge. And your punter is number 95, Sam Shutter. The Red Raiders are coached by Eric Kimry.
I'm gonna let him take a beat to cough and get some water.
Season home game, so we are celebrating senior night tonight, which gives us a chance to honor the seniors who have given so much to the football program over the years. We will introduce the football players in numerical order and the cheerleaders in alphabetical order. We start with, from left to right on your football field, number 1, running back and linebacker, Shakai Mills Knight. Shakai is a 2-year boarding student from Montreal, Canada, and is escorted by Nastya Mills and Anthony Knight. Shakai Mills Knight. Number 4, linebacker and short yardage fullback, Joel Lowenberg. Joel is a 2-year day student from Mentone, Alabama, and is escorted by Kelly and Kenny Lowenberg. Number 4, Joel Lowenberg. Number 9, wide receiver and defensive back, Joakim Dodson. Joakim is a 1-year day student from Chattanooga, Tennessee, and is escorted by Elle and Damian Dodson. Joakim Dodson. Number 12, wide receiver and defensive back, Lars Cortals. Lars is a 2-year boarding student from Pompano Beach, Florida, and is escorted by Susan Cortals. Lars Cortals. Number 13, wide receiver and defensive back, Alexi Leclerc. Alexi is a 2-year boarding student from Quebec, Canada, and is escorted by Melanie Lajeunesse and Patrice Leclerc. Alexi Leclerc. Number 16, tight end and linebacker, Davis Garrett. Davis is a 7-year day student from Lookout Mountain, Tennessee, and is escorted by Julie and Carter Garrett. Davis Garrett. Number 17, wide receiver and defensive back, Cam Sparks. Cam is a 7-year day student from Rossville, Georgia, and is escorted by Cassie and Taiwan Sparks. Cam Sparks. Number 19, tight end and defensive end, Ben Darnell. Ben is a 2-year boarding student from Shalimar, Florida, and is escorted by Sherilyn and Cloyce Darnell. Number 19, Ben Darnell. Number 21, linebacker Bradley Ilunga Bisalele. Bradley is a 2-year boarding student from Candiac, Canada, and is escorted by Jamie and Brooks Cherry. Bradley Ilunga Bisalele. Number 25, safety and punt returner Tyler Rice. Tyler is a 7-year day student from Chattanooga, Tennessee, and is escorted by Carrie and Jean Rice. Number 25, Tyler Rice.
18.
We're going to have to go back and get one that I missed. I'm sorry. Number 18, hustle over there. Quarterback Damian Sparks. Damian is a 2-year boarding student from London, England, and is escorted by Adele Hartley and David Sparks. I apologize to Damian Sparks. Back to alphabetical or back to numerical order. Number 27, linebacker Chris Reniger. Chris is a 7-year day student from Hixson, Tennessee, and is escorted by Margarita and Scott Reniger. Chris Reniger. Number 35, defensive lineman and tight end, C.J. Weiler. C.J. is a 2-year day student from Soddy Daisy, Tennessee, and is escorted by Cheryl and Chris Weiler. C.J. Weiler. Number 54, offensive and defensive lineman, Teague Johnson. Teague is a 7-year day student from Signal Mountain, Tennessee, and is escorted by Kim and Brent Johnson. Teague Johnson. Number 56, defensive and offensive lineman Rafi Quinzamana. Rafi is a 2-year boarding student from Delson, Canada, and is escorted by Corey and Todd Phillips and Coach Eric Westmoreland. Number 56, Rafi Quinzamana. Number 58, offensive and defensive lineman Jimmy Bryson. Jimmy is a 3-year boarding student from Crossville, Tennessee, and is escorted by Tressie, Jim, and Jackson Bryson. Jimmy Bryson. Number 80, place kicker Philippe Laforge. Philippe is a 2-year boarding student from Quebec, Canada, and is escorted by Lisa Gagnon and Robert Laforge. Number 80, Philippe Laforge. Number 94, place kicker Marshall Bible. Marshall is a 5-year day student from Lookout Mountain, Georgia, and is escorted by Vicky and Alan Bible. Marshall Bible. And injured player but game film specialist Joe Howalt. Joe is a 7-year day student from Rocky Face, Georgia, and is escorted by Cindy and Chip Howalt. Joe Howalt. And in alphabetical order, our cheerleaders, starting with Reagan Brown. Reagan is a 7-year day student from Ringgold, Georgia, and is escorted by Kilsma and Ivan Brown. Reagan Brown. Sloan Dreyer. Sloan is a 7-year day student from Chattanooga, Tennessee, and is escorted by Kelly and Whitney Dreyer. Sloan Dreyer. Claire Guthrie. Claire is a 3-year boarding student from Shreveport, Louisiana, and is escorted by Mindy and Cole Guthrie. Claire Guthrie. Juliet Sykes. Juliet is a 4-year boarding student from Chattanooga, Tennessee, and is escorted by Abigail, John, and Jack Sykes. Juliet Sykes. Let's hear it all together for the Baylor football program's class of 2025.
All right, Greg, should we give the breaking news? You just saw it on the screen right there.
Cam Sparks
Wearing a boot and in street clothes.
Right, not suited up, not playing tonight.
We don't know what the injury was, whether it occurred in the McCallie game or maybe during practice during the week. Of course, the McCallie game was 2 weeks ago. Open date, bye week last week. So didn't have a game last Friday, last weekend. Could have been something tweaked an ankle or whatever in practice. I can't say I know, but I do know he's wearing a boot and he was in street clothes. And I know this, Baylor is a very, very different team when you don't have number 17 available.
Well, you know, if you just take one play from the McCallie game to illustrate that, one of their first carries, they put Cam in motion. The McCallie defense completely shifted to follow him, and that opened up a running lane that actually broke wide open on there for David Gabriel Georges for the first touchdown of the Macaulay game. Yeah, it's hard to underestimate his impact on this offense. But, you know, when you can't go, you can't go. And, Jim, it may just be the cumulative effect of playing football since June, you know, at a high level.
And it may be a situation where, you know, could have played in a different situation. Let's give him another
Let's
rest.
get well now.
2 more region games coming up to complete the regular season and for the playoffs. If you have a chance after a bye week to rest him, tonight would be the night, right?
Absolutely.
But I would say this, his effect on the game, Joachim Dotson is a great player, an elite wide receiver. But he is made a lot better, that combination, because I've said many, many times before, you can't double team everyone, right?
And it stretches the whole field.
Yeah.
Both not just north and south, but east and west.
And so it's one of those tough things where you have to look and you have to defend both Sparks and Dotson, but only Dotson will be available tonight. So we'll see Alexis Leclerc a little bit more. We might see Cam Dewey a little bit more. We might see the tight end Ben Darnell a little bit more. So other guys are going to get an opportunity tonight, which is what they wanted to do by design, but I think they're forced into this situation right here because the unavailability
and, you know,
of Cam Sparks.
You bring up Ben Darnell, and he has done the yeoman's work blocking, and we have not seen him be a tremendous factor throwing the football the last couple of games as he was early in the season. So it's not like these guys don't have a host of weapons. There's just one football, Jim.
Yeah, there's only one, but again, so you know, it's tougher to cover the more you got. I get it and I understand it, but it is a very impressive senior night tonight. So we'll see what goes on. Final regular season home game, finishing up the regular season on the road at Montgomery Bell next week and at Knox Catholic the week after that. So I know you want to finish strong, and Red Raiders will get that opportunity tonight. Should be a good game tonight. We'll see what St. Pius X does. And one thing we noticed, they do play a lot of players.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, we invite you to please stand for the invocation before tonight's game, to be delivered by Matt Farr, Baylor class of 2003, the chaplain of Baylor School. Then please remain standing for our national anthem, to be sung tonight by Baylor senior Julian Ramirez de Arellano. First, Reverend Farr.
I invite you to join me in the spirit of prayer. Almighty and everlasting God, in whose love all creation finds a home, we are here tonight for the final home game of the regular season. We thank you for this season of celebration witnessed in Haywood Stadium and for the memories made with friends and family here. We are especially grateful for the opportunity to recognize the achievements of our senior athletes. May you continue to bless their efforts both on and off the field. We pray you watch over and protect from all injury the young men who will play tonight. Protect those in the stands from cold ears and noses. Bless the students, families, and faculties of the Baylor School and St. Pius X School. All this we ask in your name. Amen.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. star-spangled banner yet waves o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Ball is out. This thing put it wide open. Cameron Smarts. He did. Touchdown, Red Raiders. So it's the Red Raiders with a record of 7-0, 3-0 in district play, on top of those district standings right now. Baylor on top, 7-0 overall, 3-0 in region play, followed by Macaulay, 2-1 in the region. Lipscomb is 1-1, Brentwood Academy 1-2, Montgomery Bell Academy 1-2, and Knox Catholic 0-2. The rankings in the state of Tennessee in Division II, Baylor number 1, Macaulay still number 2, which I think makes sense. Ensworth, Brentwood Academy, and Christian Brothers. We were talking about Ben Darnell a moment ago. We don't know if he's going to be able to go tonight.
He's not suited up, so
that will be another weapon.
Tonight for the Lancers appear to be number 1, Danny DeGear, number 18, Jack Michaud, number 23, Justin Lane, and number 32, Thomas Bolt. The captains tonight for Baylor, number 1, Shakai Mills Knight, number 9, Joakim Dodson, number 21, Bradley Alunga Bisalele, and number 58, Jimmy Bryson.
He's right in the middle of the coin toss.
Baylor has won the toss and they have elected to receive.
So as usual, Baylor wins the toss, and as usual, they want the football first. And that sets so many things up for the Red Raiders in the fact that they want the football first, they want to stomp on you first, and make you play catch-up. And they've been pretty darn successful getting that first possession, putting points on the board, and getting things going downhill.
as we have seen almost every game over the past 2 years, when these guys get the ball first, it happens a lot, and they usually score on that opening possession. And Jim, you're right, that just sets the table for everything that this football team does well.
Briggs Cherry, some of the numbers on Briggs Cherry are a little bit crazy. I'm not sure when you think of the elite quarterbacks, and we talked so much about Muschamp a year ago, but Briggs Cherry filling those shoes, 14 touchdown tosses and 1 interception so far this year. A 14-to-1 ratio. Those are crazy numbers. Those are video game numbers right there.
Especially as many times as they throw the football. So that means, number 1, he's accurate. Number 2, he makes great decisions and talented receivers around him.
Has thrown it 120 times so far this year, 84 of 120. And again, that 14-to-1 ratio, 14 touchdown receptions, 5 of them to Cam Sparks, 7 of them to Joakim Dodson. So that accounts for a whole lot right there. But when you take a look at the receiving core, not quite as dynamic this evening, but not too bad, I'll say that. Joakim Dodson is a guy that demands a double coverage look most of the time, and we'll see how the Lancers try and play him tonight because, as we mentioned, St. Pius, they come into this game, St. Pius the 10th coming into this game with a record of 4-3, but they have won 3 in a row. So they're victorious in their last 3 games. And so a little bit of momentum on that Lancer sideline. And again, St. Pius is from Festus, Missouri, not the St. Pius X from Atlanta. This team is from Missouri, and yes, everyone has talked about that. Here, are you sure it's not the team from Atlanta? Trust me on this one.
Here's another positive, Jim. You get to build some depth tonight, and you get to evaluate some of your younger players.
Some playoff depth that they had talked about during the open date, trying to do that in practice. Give some guys some playing time that haven't seen a lot of playing time, and get some of those number 2 players in uniform in a tough situation. Kickoff fielded at the 35, up to the 40 and beyond. Alexis Leclerc.
That's an interesting start.
Yeah.
They kick short instead of deep. But the result is, as usual, fantastic starting position for the Baylor Red Raider offense.
So Baylor football, they'll begin on their own 43-yard line. And again, I just don't know if I'm kicking it short to this team. I'm going to make them work for every inch if I'm St. Pius X. So 2 wide receivers left, and again, without Cam Sparks tonight. Cherry to throw on the first down. Throws the out and wide open near side is Dotson. Brings it down the near sideline. Did he stay in bounds? No, he did not, but moves from the 43 in his own territory down to the Lancers' 36-yard line for a big first down.
They played off number 9 that time, and Briggs read it, took advantage of it. It's a big first down, and the chains move.
You can just even the eyeball test. You don't have to look at heights and weights, do you? To see who is going to win that physical battle at the line of scrimmage, at least on this side. Cherry rolls out far side, finds a receiver, complete 30, down to the 25, and the Red Raiders offense gets rolling early on.
Caden Dewey with a nice catch on the far sideline, and that's another first down.
So 1st and 10 at the 43, 1st and 10 at the 36. 1st and 10 at the 24-yard line. Baylor football, make it the 23. Don't want to deprive Dewey of that extra yard. Single setback, Shakai Mills Knight. Cherry drops back all day to throw. Looks in the end zone and wide open.
Wow.
That was just too easy as Joachim Dotson with his 8th touchdown reception of the year. Red Raiders scoring their first possession of the night and never faced a second down.
Boy, that time Briggs just waited for Joachim Dotson to clear, and when he did, he was absolutely wide open in the far right corner, took it right into the end zone.
Yeah, I understand about playing off someone with that kind of burning speed. That is playing off someone. Extra point for the Red Raiders in the air.
And Jim, just a fantastic possession by that offensive line. They just marched right down the field.
Just taking a look, that offensive line has a big size, weight, strength advantage. Took the Red Raiders 41 seconds. 41 seconds to score. 3 plays, and they go 57 yards. 57 yards, 3 plays. Cherry to Dotson for the final 28. The extra point was good, and Baylor off to a 7-0 lead.
So here's Briggs. He just waits, and then look at that. What an easy, absolutely catch, wide open. Joachim Dotson for an easy touchdown. And a great start to the night on senior night.
Final regular season home game. Red Raiders feel like they will get a first-round bye in the playoffs and then host. So in all likelihood, it will not be the final home game of the season, but it's the final home game of the regular season. It will not be fielded, and the Lancers take over first down and 10 yards to go. That first possession almost didn't look competitive, did it?
No, and I mean, and that decision, it all again starts with the kicking decision to not go deep, to go short. And what happened there was it just made it easier for the high-octane Baylor offense to notched their first touchdown of the night.
Starting on the 20-yard line, first down and 10 yards to go. From Festus, Missouri. Danny DeGear, the quarterback for the Lancers. He'll go from the gun on first down and 10 yards to go. Sending a man in motion, but we have a penalty on play number 1. 5-yard walk-up. Not a way to begin for the Lancers. 3 plays and you're down by 7. Then a false start to make a 1st and 10 from the 20. 1st and 15 from the 15. 1st and 15 yards to go. 3-man front for the Red Raiders. Let's see if they can get pressure with 3. Handoff, first man through, maybe a yard or 2 on first down, maybe up to the 17-yard line. Not much there, and I think it's going to be pretty tough. That was Justin Lane, senior running back for the Lancers. Picks up a yard on first down to the 16-yard line. 2nd down, 14 yards to go. I think it'll be tough sledding for the Lancers to try to go between the tackles. I understand trying to test that out early on. 2nd down after a 1-yard gain. Did he make contact?
That was a good hard count that time by Lancer quarterback Danny DeGear.
So DeGear draws the Red Raiders offside. 5-yard penalty. So penalties even 5 yards apiece. So a 2nd and 14 becomes 2nd down and 9 yards to go. 2nd and 9. St. Pius X from Missouri. DeGear is the quarterback. Rolls out near side.
Oh,
pressure. Gives a bad toss. I think that is Red Raider football. No question the toss was going backwards, and one of the guys that celebrated senior night is going to make it memorable.
Big Chris Rennier with the recovery that time, but that was pressure from the defensive line that blew that play up, and the Red Raiders back in business.
When you try and force that pitch. So the Red Raiders will take over inside the 15-yard line at the 12 with 10-19 to play in the first quarter. Already a 7-0 lead for Baylor. Kai Mills Knight was the running back in series number 1. Gabriel Georges, Cherry to throw once again. Goes in the corner of the end zone, making the adjustment. Can't quite make the catch that time.
Boy, almost a fantastic over-the-shoulder grab by Alexi Leclerc. Well-thrown football. That's an awfully tough catch to make.
Yeah, when you have to adjust like that, especially when it's kind of straight over your head, that's a tough adjustment to make. Leclerc couldn't do it. It'll be 2nd down. 2nd and 10 from the 12-yard line for the Red Raiders. Touchdown for Baylor on their first possession. A fumble for the Lancers the first time they had the football. Gabriel George is the running back. So he shifts over to the right side. Cherry trying it again. Fade in the corner.
A harder catch, tougher throw, and it still goes for a touchdown, this time to Caden Dewey.
Caden Dewey ended up in the sand pit, right? Still made the catch. 2 possessions, 2 scores for Baylor. So the first possession of the night for the Red Raiders was 41 seconds. This was 12. 2 plays, 2 fades, and 12 yards after the turnover. Red Raiders quickly back on the board. Briggs Cherry, 2 touchdown tosses tonight. Numbers 15 and 16 of the season, and the extra point is good as well. It's an early 14-0 lead, and we have not played 2 minutes as of yet. That's a little bit of a quick striking ability, I think.
That was a fantastically thrown football, and it was well covered. Caden Dewey, the defender was all over him. Fantastic effort on both sides of that football.
12 yards in 12 seconds for the Red Raiders, who have 2 touchdowns in their first 2 possessions. 57 yards on possession number 1, 12 yards following the turnover on possession number 2.
First of all, penetration by the big cat to blow
Absolutely.
that play up. Renninger with the fumble recovery. And then Briggs Cherry. Watch this throw, folks. He knows right where he's going. 2 receivers in the pattern, but he's going to Caden Dewey the whole time. You can celebrate in the sand pit when you score.
No, a teammate has to brush that off. That's part of the deal, I think. Red Raiders to kick it off for the second time tonight. Oof, a little dangerous.
That was.
If you're the Lancers, why would you get close to that football if you're not going to field it? So with 10:07 to play in the first quarter and already a 14-0 Red Raider lead for the number 1 ranked team in the state of Tennessee. Undefeated. Like we said, we're getting pretty late in the season. There ain't a whole lot of unbeatens out there anymore. Red Raiders really with a chance to do something special. Off to a 7-0 start, 5-0 at home, 2-0 on the road, 3-0 in district play. You hear the quarterback. I'm not sure he got back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe the line of scrimmage and no more. Yeah, mark that down as a no gain. Maybe lost an inch or two. 2nd down and 10 from the 20. Lancer football. Long trip from the St. Louis area to here. 2nd down, 10 yards to go. They stack the backfield.
Solid defense that time by the Red Raider defensive line. That time they moved Jaden Arenas Michelle to nose guard. It's a nose guard committee in the because of the injury to Rafi Kunzamana, and they have not missed a beat tonight.
Yes, Rafi Kunzamana will have surgery and fortunately won't be able to play the rest of the season. 3rd down and 10. So far, the best play for the Lancers has been a 5-yard penalty. Man in motion. Handoff, first man through, a couple of yards, positive yards, +2, and they need a 10. It's going to set up a 4th down and 8.
Goodness. Joel Owenberg and Jaden Arenas Michelle in there to snuff that out.
Yeah, you can just take a look. You don't have to look at heights and weights. Just take a look at defensive line versus offensive line.
There is a decided physical advantage in favor of the gentleman in red this evening.
So the Lancers forced a punt after a 1-2-3 and out. They ran 2 plays in their first possession, fumbled a pitch. Get the punt right here. Snap is good. A little pressure getting the kick off. They'll take a Lancer roll, and wisely getting away from that rolling football that time is Tyler Rice. Rolls dead, and Baylor takes over for their 3rd possession of the night. So Baylor 2 possessions, ending touchdown. St. Pius X 2 possessions, ending fumble and punt. .805 to play in quarter number 1. On the road for 2 tough games remaining. I certainly don't think it's going to be a cakewalk the rest of the way for the Red Raiders with those 2 games on the road at MBA and at Knox Catholic. Baylor football, 1st down and 10. Levy in the quarterback.
Whoa.
Come get this. Thank you very much. Camden Dewey. Did he shove him out of bounds? No, he did not. One play.
On senior night, a freshman comes up with the biggest highlight of the game so far. Ben Halevi to Caden Dewey. Ben gave it a Johnny Manziel spin and then spun it to Caden Dewey, and the deuce found the end zone.
62 yards later, Halevi with the touchdown pass for the Red Raiders. And that was by design, by the way. Eric Kimry said, we want to get Halevi in the game on possession number 3. And I don't think they said, well, we're going to let him play 1 play. But he was in there for one play, a 62-yard touchdown strike. And the extra point is good. 3 possessions, 3 touchdowns for the Red Raiders. That was a 16-second possession. So the 3 possessions for Baylor, 41 seconds, 12 seconds, 16 seconds. The result was the same. All ended up in the end zone.
How about this? Ben Halevi, the freshman. Watch the spin here, folks. Spins out of trouble and then loads up and throws a seed. Caden Dewey waits and then takes it right to the house. My goodness.
Yeah, I was right again. They're really having a tough time without Cam Sparks in there, right? Good call, JR. Good call. Not everyone has a Caden Dewey that can just step in there, right? Am I right?
Not to mention Ben Halevi. I mean, that was
yes.
That was strong.
And he found a wide open receiver. So the Lancers will get the football for a 3rd time tonight. Baylor a perfect 3 for 3.
And boy, the Lancers got to feel like they have just been cold-cocked to start this one.
It's not 5 minutes old yet. This game's not 5 minutes old.
They don't have a first down. They've already had a fumble. They're down 21 points on the road against a team that physically, to this point, has dominated them on both sides of the football.
The physical part, you could see that in warm-ups. Baylor's just bigger. Pitch near side again.
Oof.
Good penetration once again.
Man. Maddox McClure, 62, and a host of others blow that one up. No gain.
Yeah, they've gotten the Baylor defensive line getting pressure with 3, sometimes 4. But again, when you can negate a play like that, no gain.
Well, if the Lancers have a way to open up the playbook, this would be a good time to do it.
Not much running room for Justin Lane, the senior, who goes 6 foot 210. So the Lancers have some players. Don't get me wrong. I just think if you take a look on that offensive line, if you take a look at the Lancers' offensive line versus Baylor's defensive line, you're giving up 25 pounds.
Difference.
Yeah, you're giving up 25 pounds a man.
Plus, they're playing 6 sophomores and 3 freshmen tonight.
So third down about 8. Justin Lane is number 23, the running back. Danny DeGear, number 1, the quarterback. Takes the shotgun snap. Throws off the back foot. Almost intercepted, but knocked down.
Kobe Barrett with a good job that time. Pressure up front from Maddox McClure and a host of others. And we've got a flag on this one.
They're calling a rough.
And that will be the best offensive play of the night for the Lancers.
Wow. So a little bit too aggressive that time. And the result is the Lancers' first down of the night. So move it up to the 37-yard line. 1st and 10 at the 37. 3-man front for the Red Raiders. So 3-man front, 4 linebackers. Not much at the line of scrimmage. Maybe a gain of a yard or 2 for Lane. So 2nd and 9 at the 38. 39. We give him 2 yards on that first down play. Gain of 2, 2nd and 8 at the 39-yard line. Senior night. Senior cheerleaders and players were honored before the game. Nice ceremony. Second down, 8. 21-0. Yeah, that score is correct. 3 possessions, 3 touchdowns for the Red Raiders. 2 receivers left side. They keep trying the lane and taking a couple of yards right there. A little extracurricular, get a little chippy early on in the action. The offensive lineman for the Lancers taking a little exception. St. Pius moving to the 43-yard line. It's going to be third down about 5. Red Raiders on defense with a 21-0 lead. 2 receivers left and 1 right on 3rd and 5. Trying to draw the Red Raiders offside once again. They don't bite this time. Changing the play. So look at the armbands once again. DeGear hands it off. Not much there that time. Not enough for a Lancer first down anyway. Ends up going to be about a yard, maybe 2 yards short. I'm not sure if I'm not going to go for it right here. He's going to end up being 2 yards short. So gets to the 45-yard line. And yeah, 4th down, 2 yards to go. And they're keeping the offense on the field. And you know what? I don't think that's a bad call. You're down 21-0. Trying to fight your way back in the game in some way, shape, or form. This may be one of your best opportunities of the night. Stack up at the line of scrimmage. They just might go hard count here. No, going forward, and I think they got the first down.
I do too.
Stacked up at the line of scrimmage, and
that wakes up the Lancers sideline.
Getting the first down around the 48-yard line. So needed 2 and got 3. So they've converted twice in this series, once on a roughing the passer call, and then here on a 4th down and 2, picking up the first down. So getting close to midfield for the Lancers. First series they've had a first down on this, their 3rd possession of the night. 2 receivers top of your screen, 1 on the bottom. Wow, we're going old school, full I formation, under center.
Well, they wanted that quick hitter and the Baylor defense was having none of that. C.J. Weiler and a host of others on the tackle that time.
Yeah, Justin Lane again, the ball carrier. And Red Raiders were not fooled that time and picked up maybe a yard on that first down play. Lancers 2nd down and 9 at the 49-yard line. But this will be the 10th play of this drive. So if you're looking for small victories for the Lancers, they took control with 7:49 after giving up 3 straight touchdowns, and they've got the clock under 3 minutes. So that's a check mark in the W column. DeGear, this is his first pass attempt of the night, had no chance. See, I just don't know if he's going to have a lot of time tonight. I think the Lancers are going to have everything they do, in my opinion, is going to have to be quick. I just don't know if you can drop back 3 steps, 5 steps, and get enough time to unload.
Well, dealing with number 99 has been a problem for everybody, every game this season. Jaden Arenas Michelle with the sack that time.
He's been great. Brings it back to the 46-yard line. So another long and back of the sticks type of situation. Should he have time to throw here? We'll see. Danny DeGear from the shotgun snap. Drops back, and the question was no. He did not have time to throw, and getting in the backfield, uncovered that time.
Man, to your point, Jim, Joel Lowenberg, that was a blown assignment and a great defensive call. Just came absolutely loose, free, and blew that play up.
DeGear never had time to let a play develop. When you're in a 3rd and 12 or 3rd and 12 and a half or 13, you need at least a second or 2 for those receivers to clear, to get to the end of that stick. Joe Lowenberg never gave him that chance.
That was self-defense mode that time.
Yeah, he came in free, too. And that's a scary thought because that's a full head of steam coming at you, and Mr. Lowenberg is not going to tiptoe very often. So the Lancers able to punt the football away. Rather than let it roll, they pick it up and bring it up to the 25, about the 27-yard line.
Nice job by Tyler Rice. Probably saved them a good 10 to 15 yards there sure-handedly reeling in that football.
But that drive for the Lambs, if nothing else, like I said, little victories. They just had the football for 6 minutes and 6 seconds. Took over with 7:49 to play in the quarter and giving it back with 1:43 left. That's 6 minutes and 6 seconds off the clock.
Kept your defense off the field and moved the football.
Yeah, can regroup a little bit now. 1:43 left to play in quarter number one. Red Raiders football on the 27-yard line. Cherry back in there. And again, he's had wide open receivers all night long.
Boy, that time they sent Joachim Dotson deep, which opened up some room for Alexi Leclerc, and a nice throw by Briggs Cherry for another first down.
They are so fearful of that Baylor speed, you can tell. And Leclerc was wide open that time. The difference between a quarterback having time and a quarterback not having time. 1st and 10 at the 46. Underneath this time to Dotson. Good balance. Picks up another 4 or 5 yards and move into Lancer territory at around the 48-yard line.
And let's give the Lancers credit. That was fairly well defended.
Yeah.
Dawson Litterall with the stop there.
8 or 5 on that play, 2nd and 5.
49-yard line. It'll be 2nd down. 4th possession of the game for Baylor. They've scored on the first 3 with drives of less than a minute in all 3 touchdown drives. Cherry quickly that time gets the first down, a little stick route.
I mean, that pass is so hard to defend defensively. You have to account for number 9's deep threat. He just ran a nice tight pattern and got to the sideline, and Briggs knew where he was going with the football probably before the ball was snapped.
So brings it to the 43-yard line, picks up a first down. Another Baylor first down, in which I think this will go down as the longest drive of the night for the Red Raiders time-wise. Cherry, there's that 7-step drop, and it's complete middle of the field to Dewey once again, and he brings it down to the 15-yard line.
Caden Dewey, have a night,
Yeah.
number 2, my goodness.
Dewey brings it down to exactly the 15-yard line, first down and 10. Final 30 seconds of the first quarter. Cherry drops back. Looks in the end zone once again, and wide open is Leclerc. Briggs Cherry, his 3rd touchdown toss of the night. 4th throwing touchdown of the night for the Red Raiders. And at the moment, it's 27-0. Extra point attempt by the Red Raiders. And good. 28-0 as we're ready to close out the first quarter. First quarter, 28 points.
15 minutes on the clock, about 30 minutes on the field, and it's 28-0 Red Raiders.
Well, Baylor scored 42 against Gray Collegiate, 49 against Coconut Creek, 45 against Christian Brothers, 44 against Macaulay. That was a 15-yard touchdown pass. At the 17-second mark of the first quarter, Red Raiders, that drive, they go 73 yards, 5 plays. In a minute 26.
Longest drive of the half.
That's right. In all categories, yards, plays, time. Yeah, first drive was 3 plays, second drive 2 plays, third drive 1 play. That drive, How monotonous. 5 plays, 73 yards, 126.
Boy, you just found Leclerc, again, a busted coverage, absolutely wide open, left side of the end zone, an easy throw. 4th TD of the night, 3rd for Briggs Cherry.
Yeah, Cherry has 3 touchdown tosses in the first quarter. We mentioned he came into this game with 14 touchdown passes. Now it's 17. And we have not played 12 minutes as of yet. First quarter was 17 seconds remaining. Lancers take over at their own 20-yard line. Oh, pitch.
And what a solid open field tackle that time by Colby Barrett. I'd say that's a fairly effective first quarter, Jim.
4 possessions, 4 touchdowns, and a 28-0 lead. 28-0 after quarter number 1.
Jim, what a fun night for a quarterback. You know, you have options, and you have first option, second option. Boy, tonight it looks like the first option is open on every play.
Yeah, one of those situations where receivers are wide open. And there you see the state champion softball team here at Baylor. Talk about a dynasty. Take a look at that. That's what a dynasty looks like.
Standard procedure.
That's what a dynasty
trophy.
looks like right there.
Yes.
Congratulations. Yeah, it's an off year if they don't win the state championship, right? I'd say the expectations are high, I'll put it that way.
Yes.
But if you're Baylor, you have some decisions to make, I think, at some point. Well, both teams do. How long do you play number ones? And especially when you're coming off. Remember, they had a bye week last week. They haven't played in 2 weeks. And Eric Kimmery told me today, he goes, you know, we do try to cut down practice at the end of the year anyway. He goes, the absolute longest we go now is 2 hours. He goes, we probably go an hour and 45. He goes, but he gave him last weekend off. He said, get away, don't think about football. Or if you do so with a smile on your face. And he goes, and he said, I told my assistant coaches, spend some time with your family. 4-man front for the Red Raiders. Danny DeGear, the quarterback. Not much there. Took the helmet in the middle of the gut. That's Justin Lane, number 23. 6 foot 210 senior running back who's gotten a lot of the carries so far tonight, and that is by design.
And Jim, this time they shifted their defensive line and brought in George Elmendorfer to play right defensive end. They went to a 4-man front, and it was effective.
You kind of get the feeling, you know, that they want to work on some things tonight in a live situation. Now back to a 3-man front.
And now we have Bradley Ilunga Bisalele at right defensive end, Maddox McClure at nose guard, and C.J. Weiler on the left side at defensive end.
I think Maddox McClure is the guy so far that's taken advantage of that opportunity to get some playing time, right? With Rafi out, he's done for the season. Who's going to fill in that nose tackle position that was so dominant for the Red Raiders?
Well, 2 weeks ago against McCauley, it was actually Jimmy Bryson, the center, who did a lot. Took a lot of reps at nose guard and at center, which is a chore physically, to say the least.
Yeah, to play both sides of the football in that situation, that's not easy.
No.
I'm sure that's something they worked on a lot during the bye week and now in this game tonight. Knowing that Jimmy Bryson can be right in there. If you need him, he can be the number, your starting center, your starting offensive lineman. Move him in at that nose tackle spot if you need to as the number 2 guy. But they would rather have 2 bodies fill those 2 spots than 1 guy.
I think too, Jim, they have so many athletes and they can do so many different things defensively that it's just going to be a position that's adjusted by committee now.
From the 22-yard line. The gear drops back. Oh my gosh.
Oh man.
Up in the air and picked.
Jordan Gia. That was too easy.
Yeah. That was right to number 20. I'd like to say he made a great play, but he didn't have to. It was right in the hands, and the second turnover of the night for the Lancers. One fumble, now one interception. So a little bit of a gift rack. Jordan Gila making the catch, just like that was intended to be his football from the get-go. 1 minute into the second quarter. First down and 10, and the Red Raiders with another short field, beginning on the 20-yard line. Briggs Cherry still in the game. Look at that.
The deuce is loose
I was going to
tonight.
say, Caden Dewey's having a night. That time he just looked like he was playing with people. Okay, I'm here. Try and get me. Oh, I'm here. Try and get me. Finally brought down. See where they spot it. Right at the 10. But they're saying, was that not enough for a first down? Or are we at first and goal? I think it's still outside the 10, right? Yes.
Yeah, the nose of the football is just on the 10-yard line.
So it's actually second and inches, right?
Well, it depends on. We got an injured player, I think, is what's causing some of this delay. Here's the pass, and just a blatant miscommunication that time. And Jordan Gia is there for the interception. And as we look down the field here, trying to see who's injured for Baylor, looks like number 14, Judah Smith, junior linebacker.
Judah Smith is a Baylor player shaken up on the play.
Kind of looked like a foot or an ankle. The way he kind of hopped up there, obviously favoring. Yeah, you know what 14 is thinking right now? Oh, a chance to get a lot of playing time tonight. Get hurt. See if he returns. So they're going to call that first and goal. So the sticks are down. That's what I was looking to see. If the sticks are down, that means the first and goal situation. That's where we are. First and goal from the 10. Cherry back in there at the quarterback spot. Rolls out near side. Puts it up in the air. And that's caught for a touchdown.
My goodness.
I had to wait and see
Joakim Dotson.
if Dotson was going to be able to come up with a football, and of course the answer is yes.
When he touches the football, he catches the football.
So now it is at least for the moment, 34-0 lead with 10.5 minutes to play until halftime. Baylor has forced 2 turnovers and scored touchdowns after each one. This time a 10-yard touchdown pass from Cherry to Dotson. Briggs Cherry, his 4th touchdown pass of the night. And the extra point is good. 35-0. After the interception, Red Raiders go 20 yards, 2 plays, 30 seconds. Took over with 11 minutes to play until halftime, scored at the 10:30 mark. So the Raiders drives again. 3 plays on the first touchdown, 2 plays on the second, 1 play on the third, a whopping 5 plays on the 4th touchdown, and that's a 2-play drive on touchdown number 5 of the night. Cherry to Dotson for 10 yards.
Briggs rolls to his right, and look where he throws that football, Jim, right on the number 9. And Dotson reels it in. That was, again, tight coverage, but a better throw and route. 35 house.
10-yard touchdown pass for Briggs Cherry, who now has 4 on the night and 18 for the season. That's the start of a good night, I'm just telling you. Yeah, that's right. 35-0, right?
Does that start the mercy rule?
The mercy rule is not supposed to start until the second half
Gotcha.
unless both coaches agree. So the mercy rule does not kick in officially automatically, put it that way, automatically until the second half. And the mercy rule is if you're leading by 30. You could have a situation where if both coaches agree that, yeah, it can kick in the first half. But with the clock not running, I would say we do not have that mutual agreement. And that's one of the times good officials that like to get home early, they'll say, oh, by the way.
They'll kind of bait that hook.
all day long, buddy.
In the pregame meeting.
All day long. I know if I'm umpiring a baseball game and I have any thought that it could be lopsided, I said, what are we going to do with the old mercy rule?
Wow, that looked like an
timing
amazing offsides there. Maybe not.
Yeah, the timing looked off that time. And I think that blew up the play a little bit. And not much. A gain of a yard on first down. 2nd and 9 from the 21. 35-0 lead for the Red Raiders. Mentioned final home game regular season. Red Raiders trying to get to 8-0 on the year. And again, take a look at the scores and the records of the teams in the state. You won't see a 0 in the loss column for many teams. There's still a couple unbeatens out there, but not many. I think the Gear keeps it himself that time. That's a little kind of a zone read type thing. He put it in the gut and then pulled it back out, called his own number. And
boy, DeGear's 6'3", 200 pounds.
I was going to say,
he's got some size.
Yeah.
Haven't seen him. He has not thrown the ball effectively tonight, but looks like he's got the talent to do so.
He's got the talent. I'm not sure he has the time to do so.
Yes.
They're showing blitz once again.
Goodness.
Here comes Lowenberg.
Oh, my gosh.
Up in the air and incomplete.
And
oh, wow.
Wow, wow.
Mashad, the intended receiver, but penalty flags and what, me? Who, me? Yeah. First of all, catchable? I don't know. Contact. So it's a PI call against the Red Raiders. Move the football up.
That's been their best pass play tonight. They've had 2 pass interference first downs.
Across the 35 to the 38-yard line. Yeah, their 2 best plays were a roughing the passer call, now this PI, the pass interference call.
Yes.
2 receivers left as they move a man in motion. DeGear with the pitch. Boy, Lowenberg, he's got one speed. Wow.
Lowenberg's wide open.
I was going to say.
He's just wide open. Pedal to the metal.
But he's not off very many times. Sometimes you'll see players like that go full tilt all the time. They'll fly by a guy every so. You just don't see that with number 4 very much.
He just reads.
Yes, he does.
Plays very effectively.
And is in a hurry to get there. 3-man front for the Red Raiders here on 2nd down. 3. Dropping the linebacker off. Let's see if someone's coming once again. DeGear is going to go from the gun, and that's Lane who moves in motion. So they empty out the backfield and let DeGear run a little bit, and he gets nada.
I applaud that young man's courage, but it just looks like from sitting up here, that's going to be a tough way to make a living tonight, running right up that A gap.
Yeah, like I said, I think you have to be quick. I'm not sure you can.
Excuse me, right up the middle.
Yeah, I just don't know if you can go gap to gap. I'm not sure you can go between the tackles tonight with a lot of success. So 3rd down and back of the sticks. And we'll go back to how much time you're going to have to throw. If you're DeGear, it takes a low snap and then whistles blow.
So much movement by the Baylor defensive line that time. And you just have an offensive line that's trying to do the best they can, and they just jumped a little early. But that was caused by the pressure from the Baylor defensive line.
Yeah, sometimes when you're an offensive lineman and you know you're giving up pounds and, you know.
You're at least saying, let me get a quick start.
Yeah, exactly. Let me get in position as quickly as I can, get my feet set, get ready to go. Sometimes you get a half snap count off, and the result is a 5-yard penalty now in back of the sticks. DeGear with pressure up in the air and throws out of bounds. Wise move that time because
Bradley Ilunga Bisalele had a bullseye on DeGear.
he was coming from the backside.
He
And
was.
you don't want to be extended and have that hit you in the back. And again, when you're behind the sticks like that, you have to have a slow developing play, a play that requires some time to pick up a first down.
And 21 was never picked up by an offensive lineman. He just got a great start and was bent on destruction that time.
That's happened a couple times tonight. So the Lancers out of Festus, Missouri. Rugby style. Red Raiders wisely get away from it and checks up right at the 35-yard line. Didn't get that rugby style roll. That's what that whole kick philosophy is predicated on. Getting a roll, kicking a line drive, not a lot of hang time. But that one didn't get that roll, kind of checked up right at the 35. But again, the Lancers took not quite 4 minutes off the clock, took the possession at the 10:30 mark, and then Baylor will get it back with 6:48 left to play in the first half. So it's Briggs Cherry once again. At the 35, 1st and 10. Trying to throw it long.
I was going to say, that's definitely a flag. We had a handful of jersey and a bit of an arm hook that time. Whatever Baylor saw on tape this week, they knew they could throw the football, and they have been committed to it tonight.
Yeah, that time the running back had and no intention of doing anything but stay in and block that time.
We have multiple flags here, so this might be offsetting.
Huh. Could be a hold in the backfield and then a pass interference call. So the pass interference, yes. How'd you like to be in that film study this week and say, you know what? Okay,
And a personal foul on Baylor.
you're guard number 9.
There were offsetting penalties on the play, a personal foul against Baylor and pass interference against St. Pius X. Penalties will offset and will replay tonight.
So a redo.
All things considered, that probably works out well for Baylor. That personal foul would have been 15.
Mm-hmm.
Well, PI would have been 15 too, so.
So 1st and 10. 1st and 10 once again, 35-yard line. Raiders perfect tonight. They have scored on every possession. Sideline is Dotson.
Much less cushion that time. Well defended by the Lancers.
And there were two of them.
Yes.
That's what I just think that's what you have to do.
But again, it's an easy 6-yard gain.
So that means Caden Dewey is getting single coverage. 41-yard line and second down and 4. Cherry going long once again. There's Dotson with a step and slightly overthrown. But Dotson had a step on the defender that time.
Maybe a little more air under that one instead of a line drive throw. Actually, Alexi Leclerc had a step on his guy as well. There were 2 deep options on that play.
Yeah, in case you're joining us late, Cam Sparks, you say, where's Cam? We just saw in the senior introductions tonight, Cam Sparks was in a boot and in street clothes. How about that?
Yeah, this is the guy that really can blow things wide open. David Gabriel Georges, just outstanding.
I'm going to stretch and say I think that was the first third down, and that's correct. First third down of the night. So Red Raiders now 1 of 1 in third down conversions.
10 TDs on the year for DGG, 9.8 yards per carry.
That's a crazy number. When you can average almost a first down a carry. Cherry throwing it over middle of the field, just a little bit overthrown. I think they're committed to finding Mr. Dotson tonight. What do you think?
They're ready to dial number 9. That's for certain.
I don't know if it's 9 or 911, be honest with you.
Yes. How about this? Empty backfield.
Wow. Putting
Gabriel
5 in the pattern.
Georges wide. Dotson in the slot. 3 receivers to the left.
Going over the middle. That's where they've had a lot of success tonight. Thrown out of bounds around the 26-yard line.
And that's Beckham Stokes, the freshman, with the catch.
There you go. Maybe his first in a varsity game for a first down. Clock stopped, as you can see. 5:17 to play in the first half. Baylor won the toss, wanted the football. Scored on that first possession, haven't looked back. 2 turnovers so far by the Lancers. Middle of the field once again. And Dotson with another first down reception.
Another first down, chains move. This has been a just machine-like effort here in the first half.
Like I said, Baylor's now faced 1 third down so far tonight. 1. From the 11-yard line, it's first down and 10 once again. St. Pius X from Missouri. Cherry in the end zone looking, and yes.
Guess who? Joakim Dotson. Man.
Dotson scored the first one and the last 2. He's already got 3 touchdown receptions so far tonight. This one at the 4:37 mark of the second quarter. That is 11 yards. Cherry to Dotson for 11 yards.
We've got 4:37 still left in the half.
Yeah, I know. Briggs Cherry has thrown 5 touchdown passes so far tonight. So for Briggs Cherry, the first one to Dotson, second one to Caden Dewey, third one to Leclerc, fourth one to Dotson, fifth one to Dotson. So Joakim Dotson already with 3 touchdown receptions tonight, as Baylor scored 28 points in the first quarter, 14 in the second quarter, 42 for the game.
Well, here we go again. Some pressure. Cherry waits and just throws a very accurate strike. Decent coverage that time, but again, number 9 reels in another touchdown.
Not many one-on-one battles he's not going to win. That drive was 2-11. 2-11, 7 plays, 65 yards. So play-wise, that is the longest of the night. This one will be returned, but not quite to the 20-yard line. Good coverage again by the Red Raiders defensively.
Boy, Lyndon McCoy there. Thought there may be some miscommunication, but he held on to the football and just took it north and south and got what he could get on that play.
4.5 minutes to play in the half. All Baylor with a 42-0 lead.
Now they have Jacob Tate, the sophomore, at the left defensive end.
Three-man front still. DeGear gives the pitch on the far side, and Justin Lane, the ball carrier for the Lancers out of Festus, Missouri. Many people thought this was the St. Pius X from the Atlanta area. Last week I came home
I
and
saw them last week on TV.
St. Pius X was on TV playing Marist.
Yes.
I said, wow, this is a great scouting report, and it's the wrong St. Pius I was looking at. This is St. Pius from Festus, Missouri.
Oh, my goodness. Look at this.
Fake.
Defense thought the whistle was blown, apparently, but it wasn't.
Danny DeGear just takes it himself. Easily the biggest offensive play of the night for the Lancers.
Danny DeGear. We'll see what the referees.
I was going to say. So
Okay.
a penalty's going to bring it back.
And I don't see the flag, but
Were they saying he was down? Because that's if you're an official, that is not an easy walk over there. Yes,
no, and
that would be my reaction.
That's an upset head coach, and you can understand why. Biggest offensive play of the night for his team, and somebody thought he was down.
Yeah. You know what? They might have bought the fake too.
Yes.
I almost think that's what happened. I think they bought the fake, thought he was down, middle of the line, blew the whistle, and took that long gain away.
They're going to call that no gain.
Play will be replayed second and 9 because of an inadvertent whistle.
Thank you very much.
Inadvertent whistle.
Yeah. And again, that's tough to explain to a head coach when you're trailing 42-0 and your biggest offensive play of the night is negated on an official's call. But I'm going back. I think they just bought the
right.
fake and didn't see when DeGear pulled it back out and then went down the field. I think they thought, the officials thought, that handoff went in the middle of the pack and the runner was down. And so the inadvertent whistle was, I bought the fake and I was wrong. That's not an easy admission, I'm sure.
You can understand the frustration on the Lancer sideline.
I think I could probably relate a little bit. Frank Ray, the head football coach of the Lancers, made the long trip. Doesn't have a lot to show for it so far. But I think they are getting DeGear a little bit more involved, and I think they have to. Because if you just go give the ball to Lane, the running back, that's what's going to happen.
That's what has happened most of the evening. C.J. Weiler with the tackle that time.
Yeah, St. Pius, they played an interesting schedule. They had 388 total yards against their game against Cuba, but only 127 yards in a win over St. James. And I mean, 127 yards. That's not a lot of offense at all. So they've had their struggles this year. A team that's 4-3. Showing blitz. Struggling through, and not much. So it sets up a 4th down play as the clock continues to run with just 2:25 to play until halftime.
And punt team is on.
Yes. Lancers have had a couple of turnovers so far tonight. 1 fumble, 1 interception. 1 kickoff kind of gave Baylor a short field as well. So field position has all been in favor of the Red Raiders so far tonight, and they have taken advantage of it. This one is straight. Hang time is good. Not a lot of yards. Catches it right around the 45 or 46 yard line. So with 1:49 to play in the first half, Red Raiders take over. 1:49 to play in half number 1, and it's a 42-0 game. So Baylor's highest total, 49 points. That was for a game against Coconut Creek, a home game here where they won 49-21.
And you have to feel like that record is in jeopardy tonight.
I'd say yes. Trying the running game. And Shakai Mills Knight.
Wow.
Feel like he's just gliding.
Yes.
Red Raiders 1st and 10, moving it all the way to the Lancers' 25 yard line with 1:40 to play in the first half. So we will have a running clock the entire second half unless St. Pius is able to pull within 30. But we'll start out the second half with a running clock. Sky Mills Knight. And Briggs Cherry is done for the night.
Ben.
How about that? He bought himself enough
How about
time.
that?
I think they said his knee, when he caught it, his knee hit the ground. So Leclerc will get the possession, but
How about the young man, number 6? He's ready to go.
he doesn't want to get tackled. I get that. He says, I'm going to outrun most folks, and talk about extending the play. I'd say he extended the play. Second down. All that to gain 2. More than 2 on this play. Mills Knight gets inside the 15-yard line.
Once again, boy, you talked about gliding. Seems like he does that on every play.
Yeah, you see sometimes he can lower the shoulder pad. I mean, he's not a small individual. Yeah. Runs over 1, down to the 5-yard line. I think it'll be about second down and 1 from the 5.
Clock continues to run.
Shakai Mills Knights are in this one, right? And does not get in the end zone. See, Baylor calls a timeout right here.
Well, if they have a first down, that would stop the clock also.
2. Stop it at 2. So that's probably the perfect scenario from the 1 or 1.5 yard line. And able to run one more play.
No?
No. You know what?
Wow. Okay.
42 to nothing. It's 42 to nothing.
I got you.
Coach Kimmery has a lot more class than you and I guess.
Stay tuned during halftime as we honor the court members for this
So, what else can you say except a very dominant first half for the Red Raiders? 28 points in the first quarter, 14 in the second quarter, and it is a 42 to nothing football game. Red Raiders had the first possession, won the coin toss, took the football, charioted Dotson 28 yards on that first possession of the night. Red Raiders go 57 yards in 3 plays. Lancers fumble. Red Raiders get it back. Charity Caden Dewey on a 12-yard touchdown pass. And at the 10:07 mark, it's 14 to nothing. Red Raiders score again, 7:49 mark. Caden Dewey, a 62-yard touchdown pass. One play, 16 seconds and 62 yards. Still in the first quarter with 17 seconds to play. Cherry hits Leclerc on a 15-yard touchdown pass. That made it 28 to nothing. Cherry to Dotson after an interception for 10. That made it 35 to nothing. And the final score for the Red Raiders in the first half. At the 4:57 mark, Cherry hit Dotson on an 11-yard touchdown pass. Red Raiders go 65 yards, 7 plays, and use 2:11 on the clock. So a dominant first half for the Red Raiders, and they have a 42 to nothing lead here at halftime.
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight we are
Test. Test 1, test 1, test 2.
Going
Testing, testing, testing.
That score is correct, 42-0. Red Raiders with the lead at halftime. So I'm guessing you clear the bench, and I would say that occurs on possession number one. 42-0. The only possession Baylor did not score on is when the first half expired with the Red Raiders not calling a timeout, not getting in the end zone from 1 yard away. It could have been more.
Great execution in the first half, and they have just gotten it done on both sides of the football, Jim.
Yeah, you can tell that Baylor is a physically dominant team. More speed, more weight, more bulk on the line. You can see why they have dominated line play so far tonight. Quarterbacking group and the offensive group for the Lancers out of Festus, Missouri. They've kind of been overwhelmed at the line. DeGear, the quarterback, has not had a lot of time to throw. They have not tried to go wide very often with the running attack. They try to go in between the tackles, and that has not been real successful so far either. So once we get underway, we will have a running clock. And again, the mercy rule is a 30-point deficit in the second half. That results in a running clock even on an incomplete pass or even on a player going out of bounds. Clock doesn't stop unless someone calls a timeout or unless there's an injury. Baylor won the toss, elected to take the football first, scored on that first possession, scored on their first 6 possessions as it turned out. So as you see, the clock will run, and the Lancers will take over first down and 10 yards to go. First and 10 from the 20. We've talked about this so many times this year, but when you kick it in the end zone, you force that other team to go 80 yards every single time. Baylor's had a couple of short fields tonight. The Lancers of St. Pius, they have not.
Have not, yes. Danny DeGear in the usual pistol look we've seen.
And that's Lane, the running back, and back of him. Pistol formation. Lane gets the call, hit in the backfield and dropped for a loss on first down. So you get behind the sticks on the first play. They'll call it no gain. We'll call it no gain. No gain, second down and 10. Handing it off to Lane.
Testing the middle and
maybe getting a yard. Quick third down and 9. A quick third down and 9 on this opening possession. And I think we have basically almost a whole new roster on defense. Some of those familiar names and numbers not out there right now, with the Red Raiders owning a big 42-0 lead. Up in the air, pass caught. That's one of the few first downs of the night for the Lancers.
yes,
On their first possession.
especially by
second
the
half.
air.
I was going to say, they've got a couple of first downs, but they've been via penalty. One of the few times DeGear, the quarterback for the Lancers, had time to throw. Found a man. Had just enough for the first down. Started at the 20, look at nose of the football right at the 30-yard line. Just got enough for a St. Pius the 10th first down. Up the middle with some running room.
Decent running room there.
Yeah, about a 6-yard pickup. And again, going between the tackles is Lane. Justin Lane, 6 foot, 210 senior, so he's got some bulk.
Number 41, James Hogue, the junior linebacker, in on that stop for Baylor.
To the 37-yard line. Or 36 and a half, let's call it that. Baylor is going 3-man front most of the night. Most of the night going with 3 down linemen and doing that right here. And sometimes they'll send the linebacker, many will, and they are in this formation. Quick pass, bobbled, and I think that's an incomplete pass. It is.
And that was solid defense because there was some eye candy there, a little bit of orbit motion. Defense was not fooled.
He threw a pass. I thought for a moment that was going to end up being picked off by a defensive player that might have been on the ground. Third down play for the Lancers. Clock running on an incomplete pass, yes, because we're in the mercy rule. One-on-one coverage near side. DeGear hands it off to Lane. Lane drives hard and may have another first down.
Awfully close. Yes, they're going to move the chains.
Yeah. Hogue with that tackle once again, but Lane got to the 41-yard line. So back-to-back first downs to begin this drive and to begin the second half of the football game. Red Raiders trying to get to 8-0 on the year in this final home game regular season. 2 on the road at Montgomery Bell Academy and Knox Catholic the next 2 weekends. Bobble, pitch. And that gave time for the reinforcements to get there.
It's hard enough to go wide on this defense, but when you bobble the pitch early, that just blows everything up.
Yeah, that turned out, he had to take another step and a half east and west instead of cutting it upfield and going north and south. And
honestly, Jim, pretty lucky to hold on to the football.
Yeah, because
so many times those pitches
in traffic
end up hitting the ground.
Back to the 40-yard line. Loss of about maybe a yard. Probably because the bobbled pitch. Wide receivers left and right for DeGear. Up in the air. Good coverage that time. Pass is caught at the 45.
Keaton Whaley, nice coverage there from his defensive back spot, number 15. Another third down.
Yeah, third down about 6 this time. Have to get to Baylor territory to the 49-yard line to pick up a first down. So we got about third down and 6. Going to overload the backfield. Trying to draw Baylor offside first and foremost. That doesn't work. Third down, 6 yards to go. Opening drive, second half for St. Pius X from Missouri. Handoff, first man through.
What close. Yeah, he will. He'll get it with the
I was going to say second third effort, right?
Second surge.
Ran in traffic, but made the pile move a little bit.
And they are going to give him the spot.
Yeah. Does get to the Baylor 49-yard line for another Lancer first down. So 1st and 10 for St. Pius. And again, a running clock on the mercy rule. So they've had the football almost 7 minutes to start this second half. 3-man front Red Raiders.
Prior to the snap, encroachment, 45 on the defense. 5-yard penalty for the previous spot.
They're going to call.
Remains first down.
They will call sophomore linebacker Jacob Tate with encroachment.
That's a little bit over anxious that time. It's a 5-yard walk-off. So that'll be first down and 5. 1st and 5 for the Lancers. They're 4-3 on the year. They had won 3 games in a row entering tonight's contest. Traveling from Missouri to get here today. DeGear to throw with time. Up in the air and almost picked off.
Wow, that one should have been picked. Jordan Darren Gila right there.
He has 1 pick tonight, right?
Yes.
Kind of went off the fingertips of the receiver, I think, and that kept it up in the air for just another second.
Misjudged the tip just a bit.
This one throws the timing off by a quarter of a second. That seems to make all the difference. So 2nd down and 5 on the incomplete pass. Because they were dealing in a 1st and 5 situation, might as well take a shot. Drop the snap.
Ooh.
So this drive is coming apart. So quickly it'll be 3rd down. At the 45-yard line.
Boy, it looked like that time DeGear was trying to get out from under center a little quickly to get himself set up to throw the football.
So 3rd down about 6. Have to get inside the Baylor 40 to pick up a first down. Right now on the Baylor 45-yard line. Lancers football, they've taken the opening kickoff in the second half. Hit the line of scrimmage driving for a couple of yards, but not enough. So we have a 4th down situation. Clock
And
continues to run on the mercy rule.
Lancers plan on going for it here, and why not?
Yeah, I don't know if you have another choice, to be honest with you, to show your football team moving forward.
That
Hey,
you believe in them?
Yeah.
Yes.
I just don't know if there's another option. You're not going to punt in this situation. You have a chance to put some points on the board, maybe grab a little momentum. So it's 4th down, about 4. And again, have to get to the Baylor 39 for a 1st down. That's the gear of the quarterback. He rolls out far side, sees the opening, and
Hey, that's a nice effort
yeah.
by DeGear.
You mentioned he's not a small guy, 6'3",
No.
200 pounds.
And he really had that. He had that play to run anytime he wanted, and couldn't find anybody open, so just tucked it under and moved the chains.
Was successful. So far the Lancers have had the football the entire almost 10 minutes of the second half. 3-man front again, 1st down and 10 for the Lancers. On the pitch, cutting it upfield and getting decent yards on that 1st down play. Lane once again gets near the 30-yard line.
That was a nice job by Justin Lane on the cutback. Didn't go wide, cut back upfield. And that's a pretty healthy gain on 1st down.
Probably about a 6-yard pickup, 2nd down and 4 at the 31. Fakes the pitch, runs up the middle. That was nice.
That was nice. He saw alignment he liked and just took advantage of it. Number 1 is making some good decisions here in the second half.
Have you ever seen a team take the whole quarter? We might see that.
Yep. Well, with the mercy rule, it's a bit deceiving.
Yeah.
But
Still
impressive just the same.
So they've had the football this entire 3rd quarter, and I understand running clock. Yeah. Jumping on the defensive line once again. So
Prior to the snap, encroachment, number 50 on the defense. 5-yard penalty, remains 2nd down.
yeah, I was going to say, I've got that 1st down. Stripes. So 1st and 5 from the 20 with 30 seconds left to play in the quarter. Danny DeGear, the quarterback. Again, a pistol look with Justin Lane, the running back, in back of him. DeGear dumps it off, and that'll be close to a 1st down.
That's a nice look on that play.
I think you have the option right there, if I'm not mistaken. Brings it down.
And that's going to end the 3rd quarter.
Brings it down to the 15-yard line. You're right. 3rd quarter is history. We move into the 4th quarter after a scoreless, quick-moving 3rd quarter, and the score remains 42-0 in favor of the Red Raiders. No scoring the entire quarter.
Always enjoy the fourth quarter light show.
So any defense has pride, and I understand what you're doing. I understand you got a 42-0 lead. I guarantee you those guys on defense don't want to give up any points right here.
No.
So this will be 2nd down and 1. After a 1st and 5, a 2nd down and 1. DeGear again fakes it, keeps it himself, turns the corner.
Look out.
They get, wow.
He broke the cone.
I guess. Touchdown for the Lancers. By any type of measurement, that was a nice drive. So our first points of the second half, DeGear goes the final 15 yards, and when they have used him in there, when they've used his legs a little bit, used him at times as a decoy, that's pretty impressive. He's done well. They didn't use his legs early on, but
Danny's made some good decisions, and he
Yes.
has taken a physical beating tonight at times.
extra point on the way is good. So it's now 42-7. So DeGear goes on a 15-yard run. His fakes have been really good as well. So the defense has bought some of those fakes, and he's done a good job faking the pitch, pulling it out a couple of times.
Yes.
A couple of times the pitch has gone wide, and he's been accurate on his throws that particular drive. 15-yard touchdown run by DeGear. I don't know if I've ever wrote down time of possession. 12 minutes and 48 seconds, right?
Yes.
12:48 time of possession. 80 yards, 17 plays. 80 yards, 17 plays, 12:48, i.e. the entire second half to date.
My goodness. That's ball control.
Yeah, I was going to say. We're going to take the second half kickoff and not going to let you have the football again until the fourth quarter. I'll say it again. Class move by Eric Kimmery and company right at the end of the first half, and they could add another touchdown and let the first half expire. From the 25 to the 30. I stepped out of bounds.
Beckham Stokes has shown some wheels tonight.
Absolutely. Clock continues to run on the mercy rule. First and 10 Red Raiders. Up to the 39-yard line is where Baylor begins, first down and 10 yards to go. Damian Sparks at the quarterback spot. Saw him warming up at halftime and getting the keys of the car right here. Ow. Staying up high. What do they say? Low pad wins, low man wins. That was a hard hit.
He took a little, looked like he took a shot to the chin.
Yeah. At the 43-yard line. Over the sideline for a second.
And you notice that the Lancers, Jim, go right after the football. That time it was Jack Ferguson, freshman running back, with the carry, and the Lancers went right after the football.
Yeah, sometimes you don't know if those number two guys have that ball security philosophy is drilled into them.
They're locked in.
Yeah, exactly. As much as those number one guys. But yeah, he did. Protected the football. So it's a quick third down as the clock continues to run, with Baylor owning a 42-7 lead over the Lancers in this final regular season home game. Sparks avoids trouble on the keep, brought down from behind.
A solid decision. Don't force anything.
Yeah.
You're up 42-7.
Yeah, I'm sure coaches told him, said, hey, don't do anything crazy right here. Sometimes throwing it away, or sometimes just getting what you could get. Sometimes a punt is the play. First punt of the night for the Red Raiders, correct? Yeah. Scored on every possession except one in the first half, and that's when the first half came to an end. Oh, he's going to place that inside the 10 and around the 6 or 7 yard line.
Boy, beautiful kick.
That's about as, you couldn't throw and get it better than that, right? At the 6 yard line on the punt. So taking over, I'll say, let's say 7 minutes left to play in the fourth quarter. 7 minutes left to play in the football game, and Lancers get the football back after a nice drive on their last possession to score their first touchdown of the night. 42-7. Baylor scored 28 in the first quarter, 2 touchdowns in the second quarter, led 42-0 at halftime. First half ended with Baylor on the 1 yard line and opted not to score a 7th touchdown in the first half. Some running room up the middle, and that'll be a first down. He has been a workhorse tonight, hasn't he?
He sure has.
Justin Lane.
Gets him out of a bit of a jam field position-wise.
Starting this drive on the 6. And moving it up to about the 18, 19 yard line, about the 19. That's about a 13-yard pickup on that first down play. Going up the middle once again, this time hit hard and not a lot of yards that time. Gain him a yard on that first down play. Two in the backfield for the Lancers on second down. Lane gets the call once again. Bounces off one.
Back to Justin Lane.
Gets across the 25.
23, George Emmendorfer.
And the spot at the 27-yard line.
We have sophomore Amir Robinson, number 61, in at nose tackle, and Rylan Jesse, number 40, sophomore in at linebacker.
DeGear still at quarterback. Tries the burst and tries to convert on a third down and short, and able to do just that.
By Justin Beeson.
So across the 30 to about the 31-yard line with 4:43 left to play in the game on a running clock because of the mercy rule. Again, mercy rule is a 30-point deficit or more in the second half. Automatically, the clock continues to run even on out of bounds or incomplete passes. Baylor goes 3-man front, and then they add another. So they rush 4, pass complete far sideline, and then hit around the 45-yard line for another Lancer first down. And again, even though the ball goes out of bounds, clock continues to run on the mercy rule. To the 45-yard line, 1st and 10 Lancers once again. Just gotten the quarterback, Danny DeGear, involved a little bit more in the second half, more of a threat with his legs. Lane for 5 into Baylor territory. Nice 360 spin and picks up the first down.
Mr. Lane is running hard tonight, especially here in the second half.
He's moved the pile a couple of times tonight. So good leg drive. Doesn't go down easy. Yards after contact. And another Lancer first down. And a good example of that. Hit hard, bounced off the pack, dove forward, picked up another yard.
Picked up by Justin Beeson, falls forward
To the 41-yard line, where it's second down. Wide receiver left side, bobbles the snap, the shotgun snap, and loses yards. Back to the 45-yard line.
Timeout, St. Pius.
So even in the mercy rule on a timeout, the clock does indeed stop. So St. Pius, you get it, on a little bit of a roll right now, trying to make things happen and, trying to get a second score right here. Right now you're playing for next Friday, not this Friday.
I think so.
Yeah, I think this Friday is basically over, so yeah. 42-7. Baylor scores all 42 of their points.
Somehow, Jim, I think there's some folks to the left of me not real happy with that timeout.
Well, see, that's the problem. That's the difference between them and us. They have lives. They want to go on with lives. It's okay. 2 minutes and 43 seconds. Let's say a quick moving second half. We can't say that, right?
Rapidly moving second half.
So at the 45-yard line, Lancers have it third down and 12. These have been tough calls for the Lancers so far tonight. DeGear to throw. Middle of the field, incomplete, overthrown.
He just does not look comfortable throwing the football tonight for whatever reason. I thought it was the pass rush early, and I just think on just tonight in general, it's just not as comfortable.
I just don't know if he really steps into it and lets it fly. Kind of
agree.
feels like he kind of short arms it a lot.
And in his defense, for most of the game, he has had someone in his face, but that time he had room and time to step into the football and just didn't.
I'll call that under duress. Under duress on occasion. So fourth down. Trying to convert on a fourth down and 12. DeGear puts it up in the air, and there's the pick. Third turnover of the night. This one may go a long way.
Watch out.
He's going to cut it back.
And here comes George Elmendorfer into the end zone.
The junior defensive back, a little pick six action. And the first points of the second half for the Red Raiders.
We have a flag at the 43-yard line.
There is a flag on the play back at the 43-yard line.
And you hate that for George.
I do. I absolutely do.
Great effort, great play.
That was a nice return.
Personal foul. Blindside block. On the offense. That
Oh,
penalty
really?
is declined. Touchdown.
All right. Celebrate, George.
That's right. So Baylor trying to tie a season high with their 49th point of the night. Scored 49 against Coconut Creek on September 6th when they won 49-21. Looking for a 49th point of the night, and it's no good. So the defense gets into the scoring act here in the fourth quarter with a minute 24 left to play in the game. Pick six. So the defense gets involved.
Here we go. Just kind of floats one up there, and a great effort here by George Elmendorfer to extend, reel it in, and then he just turns it upfield, gets a bit of a convoy, And number 23 is going to cut back here and find his way into the end zone.
Yeah, when he cut it back, that's when it was over. Nice return with 1:24 left to play in the game. So each team went scoreless in the third quarter, each team with a touchdown in the fourth quarter after Baylor had a 42-0 lead at halftime. 28 points in the first quarter for the Red Raiders. 2 touchdowns second quarter. They led 42-0 at halftime. A scoreless third, each team with a touchdown in the fourth. Baylor missing the extra point, so only 48 on the board for the Red Raiders with 1:24 left to play in the game. It will not be returned. I was going to say, they didn't start the clock, now have started the clock. So just over a minute left to play in the game. Lancers go on offense starting from their own 20-yard line. See how many plays they run or how much in a hurry they will be. Pass complete near side. Nice spin move. And up to the 35-yard line for another first down.
Justin Lane
Yeah.
has run hard from the opening touch of the football until now. Great effort by number 20.
Timeout. St. Pius.
Okay.
I don't know that I would.
Okay.
I don't know that I.
Now you got me.
I don't know that
now
I would,
you got me.
I'd poke the bear. Down 48-7.
Yeah.
32 seconds to go.
Trying to get that coveted 41-point touchdown right
Yeah.
here. I'm on your side now. You guys have won me over. 32 seconds left. I'm not taking a knee, don't get me wrong, but I'm just running my offense.
I hear you. I certainly agree.
I'm not taking a knee down 48-7. I mean,
Yeah.
with my
Right.
hands on the football.
You're right, though, Jim. They're playing for next week.
Yeah, but let's get to next week then. That's what I'm saying. Next week is 30 seconds away.
No disagreement here.
Yeah, I'm not sure I'm going to call a timeout.
Call
and
it
set
TO
up.
to go off,
I was going to
tackle.
say, I'm going off tackle
no.
left.
Yeah.
Here's what I've drawn up.
I didn't see an adjustment offensively there, but that's okay.
Are they going to try to get another snap off with 9 seconds left? I guess. Hey, get one more. 4, 3, 2. Ball game? Ball game. So the Red Raiders unbeaten. 8-0 on the year. And I said before the broadcast got underway, take a look at all the records in the state of Tennessee, and there ain't a lot of zeros in that loss column across the state. Red Raiders go to 8-0 for the year. Still 3-0 in the district. They go to 6-0 at home, 2-0 on the road, with 2 games away from Haywood Stadium the next 2 weeks. At Montgomery Bell Academy next weekend, at Knox Catholic in the final game of the regular season. Then a first-round bye in the playoffs. And then a playoff game here at home in all likelihood. So an impressive win for the Red Raiders tonight. Didn't get that last extra point. 48-7 the final score. Red Raiders scoring their first possession. Cherry to Dotson, 28 yards. Got the Red Raiders off and running, 7-0. Briggs Cherry distributed pretty darn well tonight, didn't he?
Boy, just very effective, as we're going to see in the highlights in just a moment. And a workmanlike effort. You come off a big win over McCauley. You have an off week. You get back on the field. get some people some reps, some young folks some playing time, and you leave with an impressive victory. And Jim, those next two games at MBA and at Knox Catholic, those are going to get this team primed for the postseason.
Eric Kimmery always says we're built for November, and guess what? November is coming soon. Although MBA is just 1-2 in the region, and Knox Catholic 0-2, both those teams sub 500. MBA 3-5, Knox Catholic 3-4. So they will be favored in both those games, but we all know the tough environments that the Red Raiders will face at Montgomery Bell Academy and at Knox Catholic. Senior night and a victory, and that means you get to sing the alma mater. For the Lancers now 4-4 for the year. That is on the road. Baylor at MBA next week, at Knox Catholic the following weekend. And as we mentioned, first round bye in the playoffs, and it won't be till round 2 of the playoffs that the Red Raiders will be back at home. At Montgomery Bell Academy and at Knox Catholic for the final week of the regular season.
All right, here's how things get started tonight. Briggs Cherry opening possession finds Joachim Dotson, 23 yards out, 3 plays, 57 yards. Defense also had some time to shine. This play is blown up. The defense recovers, and that would set the table for another possession for the Red Raider offense. This time Briggs to Caden Dewey into the sand pit and into the end zone. 12 seconds on that possession, 2 plays to make it 14-0, and the Baylor Red Raiders were off and running. Ben Halevi, the freshman, watch the spin here. Then he gets loose, finds number 2, 6 yards into the tight ropes to side, 21-0. Terry again, Alexi Leclerc, that 15-play drive, 8-0. Jordan Darren with the here. That puts the Red business. They would take 20-yard line and Cherry throw, folks. Dotson, a 20-yard, 30 seconds, 5-0. Cherry one more time. To number in the left corner, that makes it 4 night. Both sides of the have a nice pick. George Elm, watch 2 the sideline, upfield. Tonight, a big night, 40 Baylor.
Well, you scored a lot of points on defense. You're probably getting pressure, and so the Red improved to 8-0. Raiders 8-0, in district play. And then the season comes. Red Raiders, Montgomery Bell Academy. We'll see you home for football coming up in November. Big Raiders on senior night by a final score 40-7. Good night, everyone.